All right, welcome back to the 2018 Brent Hambrick Memorial Open. This is round 3 coverage coming out of Columbus, Ohio. I'm here in the studio with Brad Schick. Thanks for joining me, Brad.
Hey, John.
So, it's been a pretty hot and humid out there this weekend.
Sure has. Day 3, we got Drew Gibson up on tied for the lead. He caught up from previous, I think, second or third card with Max Nichols. There's Paul J. blowing the horn, saying, let's go.
These guys are fired up.
Chris Dickerson's just one back. So first on the tees, Drew Gibson, lining up the sidearm on the 344-foot, kind of a right-handed turn. That's why you'll see the sidearm.
Yeah, you can't see the pin from the tee pad, so I had to go out here and get an angle. He'll be at the circle's edge.
Max Nichols, who you've seen the last 2 rounds as well, staying strong, trying to get that first win of the year. Coming at us from Ramona, California. Great shot. And then our third player on the lead card is Chris Dickerson, one of the hottest players of the year so far, coming at us from Johnson City, Tennessee, throwing a sidearm. And Chris is having an amazing year. He's won 22 out of his 31 events so far in 2018, and he's just he's on fire.
En fuego.
Yep. Looks like Max took a little skip. Oof. Just a little low. Get those nerves out. First. So in typical years, we'd sometimes play 2 rounds in a day, and this year we did 1 round per day. So this first round is kind of the first putt of the day. Kind of get those jitters out. Chris is sitting about 25 feet away, 24 feet away, right in his range.
Good putt.
Perfect. Good start. Chris just started playing Open. His first full year of Open was in 2015, and he's already come out and he's just winning everything. Oh no. Drew. Maybe a couple jitters, who knows. Thing was halfway in. So 3's for Max and 3 for Drew. Chris with the soloed bird.
So now they're all tied up at 12 under. Heading into hole number 2.
And if you haven't watched the previous videos this year, we had a new hazard rule on hole 2. So everything to the right side of the ditch is it's not out of bounds, it's hazard, which means you will add 1 stroke to your score and throw from where it is, as opposed to regular OB rules of throwing where it last went out of bounds. So Chris has absolutely smashed it, going right to the pin.
Wow. Yeah, that was an ace run.
Big skip there, but still should have himself a 30 or 40 footer if I had to guess. And Drew's one of the most powerful throwers in the world. Hard to see where this one's in. Oh no.
It just needed to re-enter the atmosphere.
Yeah, hopefully that skipped in. If not, he's going to be in the hazard, but hopefully got that skip. Max putting a good move on this. It's hard to tell, but it actually kind of goes downhill, down toward the left. So when you get that turn, I've actually thrown a sidearm on this hole, and when you get that turn, it just kind of glides down that hill. So here you see Drew. He is in that hazard, so he's going to maybe only be throwing his second shot, which is amazing. Yeah, great putt. But unfortunately, that's not going to be for 2. It's going to be for 3. So I'm sure he's feeling pretty good about saving that.
Sorry, dude. I thought you were closer. No worries.
Drew always looking good. Shirt tucked in. Threads on point. Max just getting his 3 and getting out of the way. Chris got some tree limbs to contend with, but he's probably 45 feet out. 3's not the worst thing in the world on this hole. No harm. Three's around. Moving on to hole 3. It's a great sidearm hole. Chris has one of the best sidearms. Give himself about, what, maybe 35, 40 feet?
Mm-hmm.
And Drew is also a wonderful sidearm thrower. These guys are expecting 2 on this hole. This is one that they want to get. It's not, it's not a gimme, but they're definitely thinking 2 all day long. And no sidearm needed for Max. This is just right in his wheelhouse. Look at this.
And he parks it.
Perfect.
For Chris's birdie.
Say he's probably 30 feet. And that's why he's the 6th highest rated player in the world, because he makes those putts about 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Drew's probably 20, 25. Oh no. So Drew's let a couple get away. He threw hole 1 down there and parked it, threw hole 3 down there and was right there and had a hazard penalty. He's thinking, I should be 3 down and I'm even, so it's kind of a rough start for Drew.
Chris and Max tied at 13 under. Heading into hole 4. 488 feet. Chris is just going to go up and over.
Wow, roller. It's a pretty popular shot by the top guys because that left side, there's no out of bounds except for the road way to the left. I personally would like to see a line drawn down the middle of those 2 fairways to separate them out, to keep people off of those 2 fairways. Max is taking more of the traditional line, just trying to get it out there. Playing that left side gives you a good look into the pin. The pin you see down to the straight forward is hole 7, but we're actually going over to the right where this wonderful cameraman just panned into. So you want to give yourself a good look out there. And Drew's one of the folks here that can actually just throw a backhand and park it, but he's looking like he just is laying off a little bit to ensure that 3. 3's a really good score.
It's just so dangerous if you turn over into the trees early. It's
Oh yeah, for sure. And Max, much like round 2, throws a perfect little shot into the mulch and hopefully just skips down to that second tier. It's a 2-tiered green. The A pin is on the top right there pretty much, and then the B pin is to the right, and then there's another drop off below that with the road. So it's a touchy approach shot. You have to be really cautious. Most of these guys are perfectly content. Oh my gosh. Thought that hit the basket. Most of these guys are perfectly content just taking their 3 and moving on. Good 3 there. Huge shout out to all the guys working on the course, Paul and Rick Stevens and everyone else. There's, they're 2 core guys who do the majority of the work and moving mulch and moving dirt and, planting grass and everything else. It's just a ton of work, and the course looked absolutely fabulous.
I'll agree.
Good 3 there for Max.
You're just looking to get your 3 on this hole and move on.
Yep.
Stay out of trouble. Max and Chris still tied at 13 under in the lead. Drew just 1 stroke behind.
Hole 5, 259. Little pedestal green. Definitely thinking 2 on this hole. The right-handers are just taking a mid-range or something maybe faster if they want to spike it on, but it's really just a slow shot in, a slight skip on a hard green, and that's...
He got the corner
yeah,
there.
Exactly. There's a couple trees to contend with. Now this lefty route does give Max a little more challenge because there are a lot more trees, but he's just going to pop it up high and let it just fall down right on the pin, so... Good shot. Didn't seem overly thrilled with it, but I think he's going to be in max range for sure.
Drew hanging it out wide, looking for a big fade.
Nice.
Some skip towards the pin.
The ground's always so hard on this hole that you kind of play it out wide on purpose to kind of get that skip. So Guess Max did get a little further away than I thought.
Whoa.
Beauty.
Huge
That's a
putt.
good hit, because if he misses that and air balls, you know, that's going at 25 or 30 away, and then you're coming back kind of up the hill at it. So see if Drew can dial this in. There you go. That's more like the Drew that we know.
For Chris's birdie.
Good concentration. This is again, a hole with a lot of traffic, as you can see. That's hole 3 behind them, and it's, you know, sometimes you just can't avoid the traffic. So Jessica Weiss, last year's champion. So start frame, good hole. No movement.
No movement.
Hole 6 is another must get for these guys. They're thinking nothing but 2, and you might even see some ace runs. This is a hole Brent Hambrick originally designed, hole 5 and 6, and put those in the final 9 for the reason of hopefully trying to get an ace on film. In that final 9, there's, you know, the safari layout, which again, ooh, beautiful. Some controversial holes. People don't love some safari holes, but these 2 holes do stay in for that exact reason, and we've always left them in, so it's always fun. I mean, you have to get them. You know you need to get them, but you'll see plenty of people miss them too. So great
Marks.
sidearm by Drew.
What'd you say?
I heard Valerie Jenkins got an ace on this hole before.
I think she did. It was a few years ago, I believe, but I don't know if anyone got it on film. Max birdie in it, and I would say the others are closer. Nice. Chris parked.
Yeah, Chris's drive kind of reminded me of Marty Hendel's.
Right, just that slow, late turn, going right at it.
So back-to-back star frames. That's what you want to get out of 5 and 6. So again, no movement. Max and Chris still tied for the lead. Heading into hole 7, 491 feet. This one's downhill. Very dangerous.
Yeah, it is. This left side road obviously is out of bounds. The right side is hole 4, and it, you know, there's a little collection area down in those pine trees, but you can see the basket kind of in line with the bench. I mean, if you when you zoom in here, you'll probably see it. It's quite a ways down there on the left point, and Max, nice turn. He kind of finished down by that stop sign, in line with that stop sign, but this is a hole, again, Drew is thinking, I can do this. I know I can throw it. It's not a matter of, you know, can I throw it that far? It's more about controlling that distance, because if it gets away from you at all, it's going to skip out of bounds or give you a really tricky putt. So it's got a hyzer back. No out of bounds on the right, really, unless you go long. So all these guys are going to be scrambling for threes. Nothing too crazy. But you'll see that the green is challenging. It's kind of on a little point there, and hills surrounding all sides. So if you're not landing flat, like that is perfect. But if you come in on any sort of angle, lots of action can.
Yeah, a lot of rollaways.
Chris playing smart. He could have easily ran that, but as you'll see, maybe not on this angle. The other side of that is a steep, steep incline. No.
Uh-oh.
And you will now see the other side of this hill. Drew's kind of got the yips. Good save.
That's a scary putt from where he just...
Man, Drew's playing really good. His putt's just, it's not dialed in yet. Chris just getting his 3 and moving on, so. Unfortunate bogey for Drew. Max and Chris just getting their 3 and moving on, so. Coming into hole 8, I think, yeah, we moved the pin this round, so it is the 360-foot distance, and in previous rounds we played the really long tee. This is the original design that Brent Hambrick designed, so it's kind of down this hill, exactly where
Whoa.
he just threw. That is perfection.
He almost roller aced that.
Yeah. And it's a really good lefty shot. It makes it a lot easier than trying to work a roller and touch shot. So that's another perfect one. This final round, Ben bought from a local here playing Masters. He aced this hole, and it was really cool to hear that story because we all kind of grew up with Brent, watching him, and to do this is the Brent hole with the Brent tree in the background, so it's got a lot of meaning to it. So that was huge shout out to Benny. So come on, Drew, you got some work on this one. If this isn't one you want to be missing. Dang. Fortunately, he did not roll because this is a super fast green if you do miss, but
Yeah, and it gets hairy down on the bottom too.
it does. Take it from someone who was in there. Nice two by Max. And Chris's roller, it's like he's played here for weeks and weeks and weeks. I mean, that's just such a touchy shot, and now he's got himself a little 24 foot uphill putt, so couldn't ask for much more.
Ching.
Perfect. So good. I just love watching him because there's nothing that's so exciting. You're just like, oh my gosh, he just did this amazing, and it's just consistent, smooth. If he ever gets in trouble, he gets out of trouble quickly. I mean, he's just so good. I just love watching him.
Yeah, and he always maintains his composure.
Mm-hmm. So 2-2-3. Unfortunately, Drew missed that putt. He would have had another star frame, which would be solid on that hole. Now you're moving on to hole 9 with, this group. Definitely Chris and Drew are thinking 2 on this hole. I'm sure Max is probably just thinking, let's just get it in bounds. He had an OB in round 2. So Chris is just thinking right down the middle. The basket's kind of more in line with that middle telephone pole. But that path is all out of bounds. You have to clear to the other side of the path. You have to sit. So, wow.
Whoa.
That is a smash. He just threw that 450 feet with
That's
no
about
effort.
pin high.
Mm-hmm.
He'll have some irregular footing, but he's got to be pleased with that drive. This is looking good. He corrected off his mistake from last round.
Yeah, yesterday was he managed to save his 4, but didn't get it back in bounds. And Drew's just probably gonna throw a little soft hyzer bomb at it. It's not fair. Look at this.
This needs to sit.
Does it? Ugh.
Good job, Rich.
He's flirting with that line. We'll have to see when we get up there. Max is definitely improved from yesterday. He got way down there, so. Ooh. Heck of a try. But again, for the lefty, that's just, it's not a bad score. And Chris just absolutely crushed this thing. Oh, man.
It's a rare miss.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the one you see the round. I mean, it's not something he does. What a
Tap in,
what a
birdie.
smash.
Yeah, that was huge, folks. That was huge.
It's not that easy, I can promise you. Even though it looked like he didn't even throw that hard, it's 450 some feet, and there's just so much trouble, as you can see. That's 30 feet to the right, 30 feet to the left. I mean, there's OB everywhere, so that's a huge two, especially after having a couple of unfortunate putts early on. So
now the guys are heading to the middle 9 holes. That's on the other side of the street. Tends to play a little more wooded. So you got Max and Chris tied for the lead at 16 under. Drew just a couple strokes back. Come back and join us for part 2, and thanks for helping out, Brad. I really appreciate it.
yep, looking forward to part 2. Lead card, let's do it.